What is the best workout you can do? I got your attention, right? We're going to be talking about the best workout today. So strap in, get ready for episode 196. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. So glad you found us. It means the world to me that you're tuning in. And for my return listeners, thank you for coming back. So glad to meet with you once again. All right. If you have not signed up for my text community, please text the word podcast to 706-222-7551. I send out a few texts a week, just some kick in the butt motivation, some fitness tips. And you can also reach out to me at that number. You can ask me questions. If you have one for the show, I'd be happy to answer it on air. So again, text the word podcast to 706-222-7551. All right, with that being said, let's dive in. So what is the best workout? There's probably a lot of different answers you may find out there. Some people say HIIT workouts are the best, and some people say CrossFit's the best, and some people say bodybuilding's the best, and some people say running is the best or biking is the best. And it can be overwhelming, like, well, what do I do? Which one is the best for my body, and which one is going to help me get in the shape the best, and which one is going to blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? There's not a bad workout. Can some benefit you a little more than others? Sure, but the best workout that you can ever do is the one you enjoy. If you hate running, then don't run. You know what? You're not going to stick with it if it's something you absolutely hate. If you hate biking, don't bike. You're not going to stick with it. You're not going to enjoy it. If you just cannot stand weightlifting, well, I get it. There's other things you can do. So I want to encourage you, this isn't a one-stop shop, a one-size-fits-all for everybody when it comes to fitness. There's so many different things to stay in shape, whether it's hiking, whether it's rock climbing, whether it's swimming, whether it's, I don't know, there's bouldering. There's so many different things you can do to stay physically fit and strong. And it doesn't have to look necessarily like the traditional thing we think of running on a treadmill or lifting weights. I personally love lifting weights. So for me, it's a no-brainer because I'm going to stick with it since I love it so much. And whatever you can stay consistent with is going to be the most beneficial for you. This goes along with diets. This is why I hate fad diets, because they're not sustainable for the long haul. And I'm all about picking something that you're going to stick with for the long haul, because it's all about that continuing habit. No matter what you do with your eating, with your workouts, with your exercise, it all comes down to continual habit and long term. That's kind of the end all. So with that being said, I do think that strength training has insane benefits. Naturally as humans, when we hit 35 or mid-30s, we begin to lose muscle. Even if you've never lifted, your body begins to break down muscle. It's just part of the aging process. Our bones begin to get thinner, and I'm not going to say it's downhill from there because we can reverse it, but things begin to change in our bodies. It's just the way human nature is. But the good news is we have control over that. If you start lifting, even if you never have, even if you're, in your 50s or 60s or 70s, you can begin to reverse that process. You can, because as you strength train, you begin to build muscle, and you, in essence, reverse the process of your muscles degrading and degenerating. Same thing with your bones. You can build your bones up. You can build the density of them, which is going to make you stronger. It's going to make you more solid. A huge cause of injuries when you get older is broken bones, and this is because the bones are very weak and there's not a lot of muscle, and so a fall can be disastrous in old age. Well, it doesn't have to be. We can prevent that by building up the bone structure, by building up the bone density, by building up our muscle around the bones. So, there's definitely so many benefits to strength training. And when I say strength training, it doesn't mean you have to be like bodybuilder, Mr. Olympian, Mrs. Olympian. You don't have to go all crazy. It can be something as simple as, lifting weights a few times a week, just to build some strength. So yes, I'm very partial to strength training. I do think that it is just one of the most beneficial things you can do all around. Even if it's not like your primary form of exercise, I do recommend doing some at least 2 to 3 times a week so that you're building some muscle. Again, yes, maybe you'll burn a little bit more calories if you're running than if you're, biking, or maybe jump roping will burn a few more calories than the elliptical, but that's really not what you should be basing what you do off of. You need to be focusing on what brings you joy, what excites you. Like, we've got one life to live. And I'm not saying that you're going to enjoy every single workout, because God knows I get in the gym sometimes and I'm like, I do not want to be here. This is terrible. I feel terrible. So I'm not saying you're always going to enjoy it. However, I am saying that for the most part, you need to enjoy what you do. And I heard something great the other day. It said that, being unhealthy is hard and being healthy is hard. So choose your hard. And it's very true. The health risks and doctor's visits and things that come in with leading an unhealthy lifestyle are not fun and they're not easy, but also there are some not fun and not easy parts of being healthy and being fit, whether that's meal prep or making sure you're eating right or making sure you're getting to the gym. They're both hard, so you've got to choose your hard. You've got to choose which you're going to live out. Personally, I feel way better living the healthy lifestyle, and that doesn't mean that I get it right all the time, but I know that for the most part I do, and I feel so much better because of it. So if you're trying to structure your workouts, if you've never really, dove into it before, maybe you're just starting off and you're kind of confused, like how many minutes should I be working out? Do I need to lift weights 2 hours? And do I need to do cardio after that? And here's the thing, all of it is going to be beneficial. And as long as your nutrition is on point as well, it's all going to get you to your goal. Well, I'm not going to say that. If your goal is to be a bodybuilder, then just running isn't going to get you to your goal. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it will all get you healthier. But I want to lay out kind of my ideal type of workout. And again, this isn't the perfect workout by any means, but this is what I think has a lot of benefits. So for strength training, I recommend 45 minutes to an hour a day, at least 5 days a week. I think that's ideal. You don't have to be in the gym for 2-3 hours. In fact, being in that long can start to have the reverse effect, especially if you're in there every day. Now, if you're trying to compete on a stage, your story may look a little different, but for the average person, you don't need to be in there more than an hour a day doing weights. Now, if your journey is to lose weight, here's the thing. If you're eating in a deficit and you're strength training and not doing cardio, you are going to lose the weight. However, adding cardio in can speed up that process slightly because you're burning more calories in a day. So you're going to burn the fat off a little bit faster. If you're going to combine strength training and cardio, you don't, again, need to go crazy with the amount of time. Personally, what I would do is about 45 minutes of strength training and then throw in about 20 minutes of cardio after that. And you may say, well, 45 minutes, that's not really enough, but it really is. If you focus on what you're doing, if you keep your rest time short, if you don't get distracted by talking to people or staying on your phone too long in between sets, you absolutely can get an insane workout in 45 minutes. I know, because most days when I'm in the gym, I'm there between 45 minutes and an hour. Sometimes it is closer to an hour depending on what muscle group I'm working, but sometimes it's close to 45 minutes. And so you can get in a solid workout in a short amount of time. It doesn't have to be hours and hours on end. So I hope this is beneficial. I hope it helps you maybe sift through, like, what am I doing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Am I doing the right thing? Like, don't overthink it. Do what you enjoy. Stay active. Do things to make yourself stronger, regardless of necessarily what that is, but find which thing you enjoy. That's the most important part. I would love to connect with you. I'm on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, you name it. You can find me anywhere at Bones to Bulk. Let me know what you think of the show. You can leave us a review on iTunes. It'd be greatly appreciative. But above all else, remember that any struggles you're facing, any hills you're having to climb, walls you're facing, you can get by all of them. You can overcome them. You've got this.